Chosen one. Your presence here is no coincidence. And the fact that you chose to listen at this very moment was not random. Heaven arranged this encounter with perfect timing, weaving together every second, every breath, and every circumstance, so these words would reach your heart. What stirs within you now is more than simple curiosity. It is the awakening of something your spirit already knows. The God who faithfully directs the path of the righteous has led you to this moment, because what has been prepared for you through many seasons is finally ready to be revealed. Chosen one. You are standing on the threshold of a divine transition, a supernatural exchange that has been preserved until the exact moment appointed by heaven. The waiting was never a refusal, it was divine protection. What appeared out of reach was never taken from you. It was carefully set aside. As Habakkuk 2:3 reminds us, the vision is reserved for its appointed time. Though it may appear to linger, it will arrive exactly when God has ordained. That appointed season is now intersecting with your journey. Anointed one. Heaven is doing more than awakening your inner life. It is preparing your hands for what is coming next. This is a season where divine provision aligns perfectly with your calling, where favor accomplishes what striving never could, and where heavenly abundance is released with purpose rather than pressure. The blessings God is placing in your care are meant to fulfill an assignment, build a legacy, and reflect faithful obedience, not merely provide temporary relief. Chosen one. When Enoch was given a glimpse of the end from the very beginning, he witnessed more than unfolding events. He saw generations of people. He saw individuals walking through ordinary places while carrying within them something timeless, powerful, and heaven-born. He saw you living in a modern world, yet constantly searching beyond what others could see, carrying a spirit that never truly belonged within the limits that life attempted to place upon you. It was never because you lacked direction. It was because you were created with divine intention. You were never designed to disappear into the crowd or simply become another face among many. Your very presence was meant to change the atmosphere wherever you go. Anointed one. There has always been a longing inside you that comfort alone could never satisfy. You tried to quiet that inner call, to convince yourself that surviving was enough, to embrace ordinary living with gratitude, yet heaven continually reminded you that your purpose reaches far beyond mere survival, refusing to let you forget the destiny written over your life. That tug you feel is not impatience. It is remembrance. It is the scroll inside you breathing again. Enoch saw a generation marked not by applause, but by fire. People who would carry authority they never rehearsed, and wisdom they were never taught. That is why you have always known things before you had language for them. Chosen one. I know what it feels like to walk through life sensing you are carrying more than you can explain. I have been in rooms where everything looked fine on the surface, yet my spirit felt heavy, unsettled, almost grieved. Not because something was wrong with me, but because I was being prepared for something greater. You have felt that, too. That is why surface-level success never satisfied you. You are not chasing money for ego. You are being prepared for stewardship. Hear this clearly. Heaven is not only awakening your spirit, it is positioning your resources. The same God who hides a calling hides provision with it. What you thought was delay was divine insulation. What felt like lack was actually protection. Scripture says in Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 1, that to everything there is a season and a time for every purpose under heaven. Your season of preparation is meeting its appointed time. Chosen one. This is where the supernatural transfer begins to move. Not reckless wealth, but purposeful provision. Not sudden riches without wisdom, but release paired with maturity. You have walked through enough loss, confusion, and pruning to handle what is coming without losing yourself. That is not accidental. Heaven never releases increase before identity is anchored. I remember seasons when I wondered why doors closed right when I was ready, why opportunities dissolved at the last moment. At the time, it felt like rejection. Now, I understand it was redirection. Some spaces could not hold the weight of what God was preparing to entrust. You have lived that same pattern. You were protected from premature exposure because your assignment is expensive in the spirit. Anointed one. The financial breakthrough ahead of you is connected to alignment, not striving. As your spirit comes into order, provision follows. As your obedience deepens, access opens. This is not about chasing platforms or forcing outcomes. This is about standing still long enough for heaven to move things into place on your behalf. You are not behind. You are not late. You are right on time. Unveiling of what was foreseen long before you were born, and as the scroll continues to open, you will begin to understand why your path looked the way it did, and why what is coming now could only come after everything you survived. Chosen one. There is a reason your life has felt heavier than most. It is not because you were weaker, but because you were entrusted with weight. Enoch saw people who would carry pressure without breaking, people who would be refined through isolation before they were revealed through influence. That explains the loneliness you could never quite explain. The feeling of being surrounded yet unseen. Heaven was not ignoring you. Heaven was insulating you. Anointed one. I need you to understand this clearly. The seasons where you felt overlooked were not wasted. They were calibrating your discernment. When resources begin to move toward you now, you will recognize which doors are divine and which are distractions. That discernment was forged in quiet rooms, in unanswered prayers, in moments where you had no one to lean on but God. I know because I walked through that same valley. Learning how to hear heaven without an audience. Learning how to obey without applause. Chosen one. Enoch saw sealed ones hidden in plain sight. Not hidden because they lacked value, but hidden because darkness detects power early. You were placed where you would survive, not where you would shine yet. That is why certain opportunities never worked out. That is why some relationships dissolved without closure. You were being preserved for a release that required clarity, humility, and restraint. Now hear this. The financial shift coming toward you is not random. It is tied to trust. Heaven is preparing to place resources into your hands that will outgrow your old survival mindset. That is why your thinking has been, you no longer dream small. You no longer pray only for enough. You are beginning to think in terms of impact, stability, and legacy. Even if you cannot fully articulate it yet, that is alignment taking root. Scripture says in Luke chapter 16 verse 10 that the one who is faithful in little is faithful also in much. You have been faithful in the unseen. You kept your integrity when no one was watching. You chose restraint when shortcuts were available. You chose obedience even when it cost you comfort. Those choices are speaking louder in the spirit than you realize. Anointed one. The reason the enemy tried so hard to exhaust you early is because he knew what you would carry later. He aimed at your confidence, your identity, your sense of worth. But he could not break the seal. You are still here, still listening, still responding. That survival was not accidental. It was prophetic. I want you to notice something in your everyday life. The way your tolerance for chaos has dropped. The way you crave order, peace, and truth. The way certain environments drain you faster than before. That is because you are being repositioned. What God is releasing next requires a clean channel. Provision flows where alignment lives. Chosen one. This is not the time to rush. This is the time to remain sensitive. Pay attention to what brings peace and what creates pressure. Heaven is guiding you step by step, quietly rearranging systems, conversation, and opportunities in your favor. The transfer does not announce itself loudly. It arrives through alignment. And as this unfolds, you will begin to see why nothing before could satisfy you. You were not built for maintenance. You were built for movement. The seal is still intact, but it is beginning to speak, and what it releases next will confirm everything you endured. Chosen one. There comes a moment when survival quietly ends and stewardship begins. You may not have noticed the exact second it shifted, but something inside you has matured. You are no longer asking how to escape pressure. You are asking how to carry responsibility without losing your soul. That question is proof of readiness, not fear. Enoch saw this stage clearly. The moment when the sealed one stopped running from weight and started standing under it. Anointed. One heaven does not promote by noise. It promotes by alignment. Before resources change hands, identity must settle. That is why you have been forced to confront old patterns, emotional reactions, and beliefs shaped by lack. I have been there myself, realizing that the miracle was not only provision, but transformation. Money did not change me first. Clarity did. Peace did. Order did. Chosen one. The transfer approaching your life is not coming to impress others. It is coming to stabilize you. God is not interested in dramatic rises that collapse under pressure. He is interested in sustainable increase that can endure storms. That this your process felt slow. Foundations take longer than highlights. What is being built now is designed to last. Scripture reminds us in Proverbs chapter 10, verse 22, that the blessing of the Lord makes rich and adds no sorrow with it. Notice that phrase, no sorrow added. That means what is coming will not cost you your health, your integrity, or your intimacy with God. If something required you to lose yourself, it was never from Him. The delay protected you from counterfeit doors. Anointed one. You may have felt the temptation to rush, to prove, to compete. Those urges were not evil. They were immature versions of your calling knocking early. But now you are calmer, more selective, more grounded. That is the posture heaven responds to. When your spirit is steady, provision finds you. I remember learning that wealth without wisdom magnifies insecurity, but provision with purpose multiplies peace. You have been learning wisdom the hard way through experience, disappointment, and discernment. That wisdom is about to pay dividends you did not anticipate. Doors will open that feel quiet, almost ordinary, yet powerful. Chosen one. Pay attention to what keeps repeating around you. Conversation. Ideas. Opportunities that align with who you are becoming, not who you were. That repetition is guidance. Heaven is narrowing your focus so you do not miss what matters. The next season will require clarity more than hustle. This is not a season to explain yourself. It is a season to obey promptly and move with humility. As you do, provision will meet you in ways that feel natural, but are deeply orchestrated. The scroll is still opening, and the weight you once feared will soon feel like confirmation. Stay present with this unfolding. Do not compare your path with anyone else's timeline. What is aligning for you has a specific weight and purpose. Small obedience now will unlock larger access later. Trust the pacing. Trust the pruning. What feels ordinary today will soon reveal itself as providence when the moment arrives. You will recognize it not by noise, but by peace settling deeply within. This assurance is your signal that heaven is already moving ahead of you now. Oh, chosen one. There is another layer Enoch saw that many overlooked. He saw how the sealed ones would be tested not only by lack, but by opportunity. When alignment arrives, temptation changes form. It no longer looks like despair. It looks like shortcuts, compromise, and invitations that glitter without peace. That is why your spirit has become cautious lately. Discernment is sharpening because access is approaching. Anointed one. Heaven is about to shift the way money moves toward you, not through panic, but through patterns, streams you never considered, conversations you did not chase, connections that recognize you without explanation. This is how divine transfer often arrives quietly, relationally, without strain. I've seen this in my own life. Moments when provision came through obedience rather than effort, through listening instead of forcing. Chosen one. You are learning that rest is not laziness. It is strategy. When your nervous system calms, your perception clears. That clarity is necessary for stewardship. God does not release increase into chaos. He releases it into order. That is why your appetite for noise has faded. Silence has become nourishing. Simplicity has become attractive. You are being reorganized from the inside. Scripture says in Isaiah chapter 30 verse 15 that in quietness and trust is strength. That strength is not loud, but it is unshakable. As you cultivate it, you will notice decisions becoming easier. You will feel less pressure to impress and more confidence to wait. That waiting is active. Heaven is moving while you remain still. Anointed one. There will be moments soon when you realize certain struggles simply fall away. Bills that once stressed you resolve without drama. Needs are met before anxiety can rise. This is not coincidence. It is calibration. Provision is aligning with peace. When God funds an assignment, He also funds the stability to carry it. Chosen one. Do not underestimate the power of consistency in this season. Small, faithful actions are building credibility in the spirit. Showing up on time. Speaking truth gently. Managing what you already have with care. These things may seem ordinary, but they are signals. Heaven responds to stewardship more than ambition. I want you to remember something personal here. There were seasons when I prayed for breakthrough and instead received discipline, clarity, and pruning. At the time, it felt disappointing. Now, I see it was preparation. When the door finally opened, I was ready to walk through without losing myself. That is what is happening for you now. Anointed one. Resist the urge to explain your process to people who cannot perceive your assignment. Not everyone needs access to your becoming. Protection is still active. Let fruits speak later. Let results explain what words cannot. Chosen one. The shift you are sensing is real. You are not imagining it. The pressure is lifting because the weight is redistributing. What once sat on your shoulders alone will soon be shared through support structure and supply. This is how divine promotion feels before it looks impressive. Stay grounded. Stay obedient. Stay present. What is unfolding now will confirm that heaven has been arranging more than you ever saw. Remain humble as doors open, generous as resources increase, and alert to guidance, because what begins quietly now will echo powerfully across your future and legacy. Chosen one. There is a sacred shift that happens when heaven begins to trust you with overflow. It is not loud. It is subtle. Suddenly, your reactions slow down. Your prayers change tone. You stop asking God to fix everything and start asking Him how to move wisely within what He is releasing. That is a sign of maturity. And Enoch saw this stage clearly. He saw the sealed ones learning how to carry increase without losing reverence. Anointed one. This is where many fail, not because they lack faith, but because they rush the process. They mistake momentum for permission. But you are being taught restraint. You are learning to pause before decisions, to listen before responding, to wait for peace before agreement. I learned this lesson the hard way. There were moments when I almost moved too early, thinking opportunity meant confirmation. Looking back, I can see how protection disguised itself as delay. Chosen one. The wealth connected to your assignment is purposeful. It is not meant to elevate your ego, but to expand your reach. God funds impact, not insecurity. That is why He has been healing your identity first. When money arrives, it will not define you. It will obey you. That only happens when your worth is already settled. Scripture reminds us in Deuteronomy chapter 8 verse 18 that it is God who gives the power to get wealth so that He may establish His covenant. Notice that wealth is framed as power with responsibility. You are being trained for covenant increase, not chaotic gain. That training has happened through discipline, disappointment, and discernment. Anointed one. You may soon notice people responding differently to you, not because you announced anything, but because authority carries weight before results show up. Conversations will feel more respectful, opportunities more sincere. That is, alignment manifesting externally. Heaven adjusts the environment once the vessel is ready. Chosen one. Be mindful of how you speak in this season. Words are steering outcomes now. Complaints drain momentum. Gratitude anchors increase. Speak life over what you are building, even if it is still invisible. I have watched words either accelerate favor or delay it. Choose alignment in your language. Anointed one. There will be invitations that test your values, not sinful ones, but subtle compromises. Faster money, easier paths, less accountability. You will feel the difference immediately. Peace will withdraw. That is your signal. Do not override it. Integrity is protecting your future more than you realize. Chosen one. Rest, knowing that heaven is involved in details you cannot see yet. Systems are shifting. People are being repositioned. Resources are being redirected. None of this requires your anxiety. It requires your obedience. Stay faithful with what is in your hands today. This is not the climax yet. This is stabilization. This is the stage where roots deepen before branches spread wide. What comes next will require strength, clarity, and humility, all of which are being formed right now. Remain grounded. Remain listening. The scroll continues to open, and what is about to be revealed will make the waiting make sense. Do not rush ahead of grace, chosen one, because what is unfolding is precise, protected, and intentional. And when the release arrives, it will meet you prepared, steady, and fully aligned in time. Chosen one, there is a moment when heaven shifts from preparing you to positioning you, and that moment feels strangely quiet. No announcement, no fireworks, just an internal knowing that something irreversible has begun. Enoch saw this phase clearly. He saw the sealed ones standing at the threshold, not panicking, not rushing, but grounded, alert, and ready. That readiness did not come from confidence alone, but from having nothing left to prove. Anointed one, you are entering a season where alignment matters more than effort. You may notice that things begin to work with less force. Doors open with fewer words. Resistance fades without explanation. This is not because the world changed. It is because you did. Your frequency shifted, and systems are responding. I remember the first time this happened in my own life. What once required exhaustion suddenly required discernment. The work became lighter, but the responsibility grew heavier. Chosen one, this is where humility protects you. Increase has a way of testing the heart more than lack ever did. When provision begins to stabilize, pride tries to sneak in, quietly disguised as independence. Guard yourself here. Stay teachable, stay prayerful, stay grateful. Scripture reminds us in Micah chapter 6, verse 8, to walk humbly with God. That humility keeps the channel clear. Anointed one, heaven is also pruning distractions right now. You may feel less interested in conversations that once consumed you. Certain goals lose their shine. This is not boredom. It is refinement. God is narrowing your focus because what you are about to steward requires clarity. Not everything good is assigned to you. Learn to say no without guilt. Chosen one, pay close attention to the way peace begins to guide your path. The choices that truly belong to your purpose will carry a quiet confidence, even when they ask you to step beyond your comfort zone. The wrong directions, however, often arrive wrapped in urgency, confusion, or unnecessary weight. Learn to recognize that difference. I once dismissed that inner peace and discovered how costly that decision could be. You do not have to learn the same lesson the hard way. Peace is never weakness. It is heaven's way of bringing clarity. Anointed one, you will soon notice your finances reflecting the order God has established within you. It may not come through sudden, overwhelming breakthroughs, but through a steady rhythm of provision. Needs will be supplied, opportunities will expand, and burdens will gradually lose their grip. This is often how covenant blessing unfolds, faithful, consistent, and deeply rooted. It is built to endure, not to fade with changing emotions. Chosen one, understand that your influence will begin to grow in the same quiet way. There is no need to advertise your transformation. Genuine fruit always reveals itself without demanding attention. Allow people to witness the evidence of God's work in their own time. That quietness guards your heart against comparison and shields your calling from unnecessary distractions. Anointed one, this is a season marked by trust. Trust in God's timing, trust in His direction, and trust in His wisdom. Even when he tells you to wait, heaven never rushes, because heaven is never driven by fear. Every piece is falling into place with divine purpose. You have not missed your moment, nor have you arrived before your time. You are exactly where you are meant to be. As this new chapter continues to unfold, remain faithful to the foundations: prayer, integrity, rest, and gratitude. These practices are far more than simple habits. They are the anchors that keep every blessing secure. They prevent increase from becoming disorder. The story God is unfolding is not yet complete, and what lies ahead will demand a stable spirit far more than a hurried pace. Stay firmly grounded. Chosen one, the preparation is already underway. The support you need is being assembled. The release you have prayed for is drawing closer, and God is shaping your heart so you can receive it without losing the person He has been forming within you. Chosen one. There is a holy responsibility that comes with being chosen in advance, though few ever speak about it. When God's favor begins to appear openly in your life, your heart must remain more humble and more peaceful than the success others are able to see. Enoch saw the sealed ones, learning how to carry visibility without becoming consumed by it. This is where discipline matters more than charisma, and where character guards what favor attracts. Anointed one, you are entering a stretch where people will assume you are stronger than you feel. They will see stability where you remember struggle. That gap can feel isolating if you are not rooted. I have walked through this space myself, where blessings arrived while memories of survival still echoed. That is why God has been teaching you to process privately and praise deliberately. Chosen one, understand this. Not everyone who celebrates your rise is meant to access your process. Boundaries are not walls. They are filters. Heaven is teaching you how to protect your energy so that what flows through you remains pure. The more you discern, the less you explain. Silence is becoming wisdom, not fear. Anointed one, the resources moving toward you now are also moving responsibility with them. You will begin to see needs beyond your own. Opportunities to help build, support, and create will surface naturally. This is where the heart is tested. Will you hoard from fear or steward from trust? Scripture reminds us in 2 Corinthians chapter 9 verse 8 that God is able to make all grace abound, so that you may abound in every good work. Provision always carries purpose. Chosen one, generosity does not start with large amounts. It starts with open posture. Heaven watches how you treat people when you have margin again, how you speak when pressure lifts, how you respond when you no longer need something from others. These moments shape the next release. Anointed one, you may feel a pull toward building something meaningful. Now, a business, a project, a platform, or a legacy that outlives applause. That pull is real. It is not ego. It is alignment, awakening vision. Let it develop slowly. Rushed structures collapse. Grounded ones endure. Chosen one, remember that comparison is a thief of clarity. Do not measure your progress against someone else's highlight. Your path is specific. Your timing is intentional. The way God funds your assignment will look different because your calling is different. Trust that uniqueness. Anointed one, stay connected to gratitude. It stabilizes joy and guards against entitlement. Even now, pause and acknowledge how far you have come. Surviving was not small. Learning was not wasted. Healing was not optional. All of it prepared you for this moment. Chosen one, The transfer unfolding is not about arriving somewhere. It is about becoming someone who can carry what arrives. That is why heaven has been patient with you. That patience is still active. There is more ahead. But it will come in order. Remain faithful in the quiet moments. Remain generous in the growing moments. Remain humble in the victorious moments. The scroll continues to unfold, and what is being revealed next will require the maturity you are now embodying step by step, without needing to announce it to the world. Chosen one. This final stretch is not about striving harder. It is about standing truer. Enoch saw the moment when the sealed one stopped looking for confirmation outside and began recognizing alignment within. That recognition brings peace, not arrogance. It settles the heart and steadies the hands. You are arriving there now. Even if part of you is still adjusting to the quiet strength replacing old urgency. Anointed one. What heaven releases next will feel natural, not shocking. Provision will meet need without drama. Opportunities will surface through ordinary conversations. Support will arrive through unexpected people. This is how divine order looks once preparation is complete. I have learned that when God moves cleanly, He does not overwhelm. He confirms. Chosen one. You will notice that fear has less authority over your decisions. Not because you are fearless, but because trust has matured. You have seen God sustain you before, and memory breeds confidence. Scripture reminds us in Psalm chapter 37, verse 5, to commit our way to the Lord and trust Him, and He will act. That action often looks subtle at first, then undeniable. Anointed one, guard your inner dialogue in this season. Speak to yourself with the same truth you would offer someone you love. You are no longer surviving. You are stewarding. Words shape atmosphere, and your atmosphere is shifting rapidly. Choose language that agrees with alignment. Not old narratives shaped by scarcity. Chosen one. There may still be moments of doubt. Do not interpret them as failure. Doubt often surfaces when growth outpaces familiarity. Let it pass without negotiation. Return to what you know. God has been faithful. He is present. He is precise. Anointed one. As increase stabilizes, responsibility will clarify. You will see where to invest energy and where to withdraw it. Not everything requires your attention anymore. Focus is a gift. Use it wisely. What you build now sets tone for years ahead. Chosen one. The world may never fully understand your journey, and that is fine. This path was not designed for explanation. It was designed for obedience. You are becoming evidence, not an argument. Let results speak in their own time. Anointed one. Stay rooted in stillness, even as movement increases. Stillness keeps hearing sharp. It keeps pride distant. It keeps gratitude close. These qualities protect what heaven entrusts. Chosen one. You were foreseen not to be elevated above others, but to stand firmly for something greater. The transfer unfolding through your life is part of a wider story, one of restoration, provision, and faithfulness. Carry these truths with a humble heart. As these words come to a close, embrace this assurance you are in the right place, fully prepared, and never walking alone. The story heaven is unfolding is still continuing, yet you have already been equipped for the next chapter. Move ahead without anxiety, without haste, and without holding yourself back. Heaven is walking beside you, guiding each step with unwavering faithfulness. Never overlook the quiet confirmations that appear along your journey. Those gentle reminders are signs that you are known, watched over, and directed by God. When deep peace follows a decision, receive it with confidence. When unexpected provision arrives, recognize the Father's hand in it. A grateful heart keeps you open to what heaven desires to pour into your life. What lies ahead will not force or pressure you, but it will invite you to remain present, courageous, and surrendered to God's perfect timing. Continue trusting the process as it unfolds. Remain faithful where you are, and allow divine alignment to determine your direction. My chosen one, let these words rest deeply within your spirit. This is more than the closing of a message. It is the affirmation that heaven has arranged this encounter for you. Even now, God is moving behind the scenes on your behalf, and you are standing within your appointed Kairos season, where every season of preparation meets the moment of release. What heaven established long ago is now coming into alignment before your eyes. What once seemed hidden is gradually being revealed with unmistakable clarity and quiet confidence. Anointed one, the spiritual transfer you have sensed is no longer distant, it has already begun. Favor is flowing toward faithful obedience. Divine provision is finding its purpose. Nothing God entrusts to you will be greater than your capacity to carry, because He has been shaping your character with wisdom, maturity, and humility all along. You are no longer pursuing the destiny prepared for you. Instead, the destiny ordained by God is unfolding before you exactly as He intended. Remain faithful in the unseen moments. Let peace, not pressure, become your guide. Allow gratitude to shape your heart, and let obedience direct every step you take. In time, everything that unfolds will reveal why every delay served a purpose. If these words resonate deeply within your spirit, quietly affirm them by declaring, "I receive," or simply remain connected as heaven continues unveiling what has already been prepared for you. Move forward with confidence, with steadfast faith, and without fear. You are fully seen by God, thoroughly prepared through every season, and perfectly positioned for everything He has already set in motion.